session today. Today we'll be doing the basics of economics. Means chapter 1, some part of the basics. Okay. So what do we mean by when I say basics? We'll be doing the definitions and scope of economics. Remember, these definitions do come for exam for 1 mark. Okay. CIB is everything is 1 mark. Okay. So before starting, I would always suggest let's start with the motivation. When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your your decision to get there. Means you never change your final goal. You change the ways of doing the things, right? This is very important in our life. Download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. Why do I download this? Why am I telling you to download this? Why should you download this? Because you get various exams, means banking, not only banking, related to government, various government exams. Their schedules, their latest updates, their video study material, their video lectures, live video lectures, and also paid video lectures. Now, paid video lectures, when I say what is the payment, then see here, we are having a 77% off scheme. Now 77% off scheme means if something costs you 1000, it will cost you only 230. Use this code Y432. This is very important. Without this code you won't get 77% off. Okay, so use this code Y432 and get 77% off on all the Adda products. Okay, so let's start. We have started with ABM, BFM and retail foundation batch. It's starting on March 28th. So tell all your friends, share on your social media. Okay, share it there so that everybody can benefit. Also remember, when we start this, what is the cost? Again the same logic applies. 77% off. Use this code for that batch and you will get a 77% off for that batch also. Okay. Okay. So let's start with our topic today. Today's topic is fundamentals of economics. So today we'll be studying definition of economics. This is the main chapter and now we'll be studying definition of economics. Okay. Firstly, why is economics defined? Basically what is economics? Okay. There are various definitions to it, but why this definition is required? Why should I define economics? The analysis of economic environment requires the knowledge of economic decision making and hence the study of economics is significant. See here, man is a social animal. Does any one of you live on an island where nobody is there? Only that person is there, not even his family. Does anyone live like this? No, because human beings don't live on an island. They are the social animal. So the economic environment, social environment, political environment, everything defines our life. Okay, so the analysis of economic environment requires the knowledge of economic decision making, right? What do you mean by economic decision making? See here, economic decision making means rational decision making. That is the meaning of economic decision making. Okay, so hence the study of economics is significant. Okay, so there are 4 definitions now. Okay, which are the 4 definitions? Let's see one by one. First is wealth definition. Now wealth definition was given by Adam Smith. Now, who is Adam Smith? There's hardly any person in economics who doesn't know Adam Smith. He is considered as the father of modern economics, right? Because he has given so many important things and important points in his book Wealth of Nations. Okay, so I would always suggest you to read it when you have a spare time, not now. Okay, so Adam Smith defined economics as a science which inquired into the nature and cause of wealth of nations. Means what? Economics is a science, he says. Okay, it's a science which inquired into nature and cause of wealth of nations. Means why he is basically defining macroeconomics. Wealth of nations. He is not talking of individuals. He defines how the nations, how the countries build their wealth. Now, how can they build their wealth? Because of these, that's what is the study of Adam Smith. Nature and cause, right? So Adam Smith's definition, if it comes in the exam, remember nature and cause of wealth of nations. The word nation should be there in his definitions. Okay. So according to his definition, economics is the science of study of wealth only. So basically studying of only wealth, right? So economics is the study of wealth only. It deals with production, distribution and consumption. So here, nature and cause of wealth of nations. So he only deals in this marketing concept basically. Production, distribution, consumption, everything related to products. So he is defining economics with relation to these three aspects only. The wealth-centered definition deals with the causes behind the creation of wealth. Means how the wealth is created, why some countries are so rich and why some countries are so poor. So that is defined by Adam Smith. Because the countries have higher wealth. Why do they have higher wealth? Because of the nature and cause. So those nature and causes are studied over here. Next, it only considers material wealth. This is very important. So there are certain criticisms to this because it's only considering wealth. So what are the criticisms? Say this. Wealth is of no use unless it satisfies human wants, right? Because only thinking of wealth, it won't give you any satisfaction. There's no end to it, right? So this is a criticism number 1 of Adam Smith. This definition is not of much importance to man and his welfare. Means this definition is not of much importance to individual human being. This definition is of useful for nations, for GDP calculations, for country as a whole, but not for individual. Okay. Then we come to second definition. Now this definition is very important because this relates to human being, normal individual. So what is the definition? This is called as welfare definition. See here, in exam what does the question come? The question is welfare definition was given by number 1. So various names are given. So welfare definition was given by Alfred Marshall. Okay. And second type of question comes is Alfred Marshall defines economics as. So economics is the study of man in the ordinary business of life. Means what does Marshall define? Ordinary business of life. He doesn't talk like Adam Smith of nations, causes, wealth. No, he only says study of man. Man means not only man, human being. Okay, man and woman both. So study of human being in ordinary business of life means daily business. How does one do? So that is defined by Alfred Marshall. Okay, it examines how a person gets his income, how he invests it. So what is he defining basically? He is defining for the individuals. I can call it microeconomics, right? And what is Adam Smith defining? He is defining macroeconomics. Okay. Thus on one side it is a study of wealth, and on the other, most important side, it is a study of well-being, right? So see here, what is it studying? Economics is the study of man in ordinary business. So in ordinary business, what does a human being do? He firstly tries to accumulate wealth, and wealth for what? For his own well-being, right? So this definition studies both wealth and well-being. Now welfare definition features economics is the study of those activities that are concerned with the material welfare of man. Now this can also be considered as a criticism, because Indian theory gives something else. Indian theory is less concerned about material wealth, right? So this welfare definition studies only material welfare. Okay. Economics deals with the study of a man in ordinary business of life. This is his feature. Ordinary business, normal business. How does a human being deal with the daily situations? The study inquires how an individual gets his income and how he uses it. So microeconomics, right? Economics is the study of personal and social activities concerned with the material aspects of well-being. So personal and social. See here, this definition is of wealth firstly, individual wealth, and second is welfare. So that's why this welfare part will definitely come over here. So personal and social activities which are related to the welfare in material aspects only. Okay. Marshall emphasized on definition of material welfare. Herein lies a distinction between Adam Smith's definition, which is wealth centric, right? That's what I told you. Adam Smith is only concerned about wealth, whereas Marshall is concerned about wealth, individual wealth and well-being, and Adam Smith is concerned about wealth of the nations basically. Third is the scarcity definition. This definition was put forward by Robbins. Again, exam question. Scarcity definition was given by Robbins. Okay. According to him, economics is a study which studies human behavior as a relationship between the ends and the scarce means. which have alternative uses. Now, what does this mean? Okay, remember the Marshall's definition is about human being, right? This Robbins definition is again about human being. So only this Adam Smith, he talks about the nations. Remaining everyone talks about human beings. Okay, so it is a study, a science which studies human behavior as relation between the ends and the scarce means. Now here he defines something else, which is not defined by Marshall. Okay, so scarce means he is defining. So always remember, whatever your income be, your expense will definitely be higher than that income. Okay, so that's why the means are always scarce. Okay, so exam question, if they ask you about scarcity definition, remember scarce means this word should be there. Okay, so what are the features? Human wants are unlimited. This ends means human wants. Okay, here there is always a distinction between needs and wants. What you need is always free or at a lower cost, and what you want is always at a higher cost, right? Why? I'll give you an example. What we need is water. Water is always at a lower rate or free, right? But what we want is Bisleri, distilled water, so that is always higher. What we need is air, right? That is always free. But what we want something else, right? What we need for living is normal food, that is always cheaper. But what we want is pizzas, burgers, and all those things, those are always higher, right? So needs and wants, there is always a definition between the distinction between the needs and wants. Okay, so human wants are always unlimited. If you get a car, a normal car, you want an SUV. If you get an SUV, you'll get some luxury car. You want some luxury car. Okay, alternative uses of scarce resources, right? Means whenever you get the salary, the important part is this salary can be used to 2 to 3 purposes. Either you can pay your child's fees, either you can spend on some consumer goods, right? Or either you can do something else, go for a holiday. So these are all scarce means and unlimited wants or unlimited ends for that. Okay, so it always has alternative uses. Efficient use of scarce resources. So this is important. Means if I have 3 choices, pay my child's fees, second go for a holiday, let's consider these 2 choices. Which one will you say? Which one will you serve? You will definitely serve paying the fees. So that's the meaning of efficient use or rational decision. Okay. Next is need for optimization. Need for optimization means whatever I am getting, I'll try to satisfy maximum of the ends with these scarce means. Okay. Now last one is growth oriented definition. It was given by Paul. This definition was introduced by Paul A. Samuelson. According to the definition, economics is the study of how man and society choose with or without the use of money to employ scarce productive resources which have alternative uses to produce various commodities over time and distributing them for consumption, how or in future among various persons or groups in a society. Okay, such a big definition. Just to give you a summary, that Samuelson's definition, Paul Samuelson's definition, if it comes, remember it's the biggest definition. It's as simple. And what does it talk about? It talks about how a man and a society, man means human being and a society together, choose this. He also stresses the same thing as Robbins. What does he stress? The means are always scarce and ends are always unlimited. So with or without the use of money to employ scarce productive resources, right? So productive resources or the sources are always scarce, which have alternative uses, right? So every money which you earn has alternative uses, like what I told you, paying the fees or going for a holiday, to produce various commodities. Only the point is Samuelson talks about not individual, but he relates the individual behavior to society behavior. Okay, to produce various commodities over time and distributing them for consumption, how or in future among various persons or groups in the society. So basically, how will you remember Samuelson's definition? Scarce productive resources. This is what you need to remember. Okay, and these scarce productive resources are put for production for creating or manufacturing various commodities over time for the benefit of the society only. Okay, means distribution in the society only. Okay, it analyzes costs and benefits of improving patterns of resource allocations. So resource allocation is a new word which has come in the Samuelson definition. What do you mean by resource allocation? It again means the scarce productive resources. Okay. Now we'll study the next part, scope of economics. Here there are two approaches to it, and why am I taking this? Because in exam it comes. Traditional approach for economics studies that. Okay, what does it study here? Economics is a social science. It studies man's or human beings' behavior as rational social being. It is considered as science of wealth in relation to human welfare. Earning and spending of income was considered to be the end of all economic activities. Wealth was considered as means to an end, the end being human welfare. So what is the traditional approach? Traditional approach generally talks about individual human being only, and human being living in the society basically. Individual human being, the laws apply to the individual human being who is living in the society. So what does it say? Here, rational social being, that is a common logic. Economics is based on the fundamental that human being is a rational animal and social animal. That's what is the basics of any economic studies. Okay, so it is considered as a science of wealth in relation to human welfare. Here, why do we earn wealth? We earn wealth for our welfare, right? So society also does the same thing. Earning and spending of economic income was considered to be the end of all economic activities. Means, why do I work? I work for money. So that was the approach. But nowadays with modern theory, human being not only works for money, but he also works, he or she basically, he or she works for what? Welfare and satisfaction. This is the new approach. Okay, so for now we are focusing on traditional approach. Wealth was considered as a means to an end. So what is the end? End is human welfare. And what are the means? Means is the wealth. Okay, but as per modern science now or of economics, wealth is not the only mean for an end. Okay, there are various other means also. Okay, so next is modern approach. What does modern approach say? An individual either as a consumer or producer can optimize his goal in an economic decision. Means whenever somebody optimizes his goal, either it can be a company, it can be a individual. What do you mean by optimization? Optimization means thinking rationally. Not optimization and maximization. Both the things are different. In optimization, what do? I don't maximize. I get a little less, but I get something else also, like satisfaction. Okay. Whereas in maximization, I say satisfaction to hell. I'll only earn maximum, but that is not the end. That is always, it leads you to stress. Okay. The scope of economics lies in analyzing economic problems and suggesting policy measures. See here, modern economics thinks about various economic problems as policy decisions. Social problems can thus be explained by abstract theoretical tools and by empirical methods. So if the question in exam comes, modern approaches of economics thinks about policy, means economic problems as policy measures, means for solving them, and then it thinks about what? Modern approach thinks about the abstract theoretical tools, means various theories for economics. That's why we have various definitions of economics, various theories of economics. So this is all in modern approach. In classical discussion, economics is a positive science. What do you mean by positive science? Positive science means everyone works for the welfare of his or her, right? And for the society as a whole. That is also important. See here, human being is a social animal. So we not only work for our own benefit, but we also work indirectly for the societal benefit. Okay? It seeks to explain what the problem is and how it tends to be solved. Means how the things are to be solved through various theoretical approaches. In modern times, it is both positive and normative science, right? So basically positive science. Positive means again the same definition. economics of today deals economic issues not merely as they are, but also as how they should be. Means here in modern approach, what do we study? Not only whenever I get a problem in economics, it's not only what the problem is, but the thing is how it should be, so that it is for the benefit of the total society. Okay, and welfare economics and growth economics are more normative than positive. Normative means what? Okay, normative means basically it's not the maximization. Again, the maximization and optimization concept comes. Means you don't not only move towards the positive thing, but you also go towards what? You consider other things as well. Okay, so what you have to remember, in traditional approach it deals with only wealth and wealth. Okay, and wealth is the only means to an end, number one. Earning and spending is the ultimate goal, right? And in modern approach it gives various theories for solving the problems. It looks at the problem as how it should be, right? It is a positive science. Okay, so that was the purpose of today's lecture. Today's lecture we studied only the definitions, all the important 4 definitions. Remember, out of these 4, 2 definitions do come for the exam, and out of these 2, traditional and modern approach, 1 question comes for 1 mark. Means what does the traditional approach say, or what does the modern approach say for economics? Okay, so that was the purpose today. Hope so you might have understood. Again, I would suggest you join our paid classes, this ABM, BFM and retail foundation batch, which is starting on March 28th. Tell your friends you also join. Why? Because here we have only half an hour session, but there we have almost 2 hour session from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. morning, and the fees of that is very less. Also, you can apply this 77% discount using this code Y432. Importantly, why I always think, means the 2 benefits or 2 increments which you get in CAIIB give you such a huge amount through, because if you are at an age of roughly 30-35 and if you work till the age of 58, you will get a huge benefit of 2 increments, and based on those 2 increments other things will also increase, right? So it's an investment, right? Remember this, use this code Y432 and invest in your future. Okay, so I'll take the leave now. Okay, see you in the class, tomorrow's class also, as well as in our paid class. Okay.